I'm Marion Nicholson, and back in my early 30s, I was having sex with a very nice person, and suddenly one day I started to feel unwell, and a few days after that, I started to get spots down there on the vulva. So I went to a GYN clinic, and they told me that I had herpes simplex. Now, I didn't know anything about this, and this was so long ago that the herpes hype hadn't actually started. So I wasn't particularly concerned. They said it's a cold sore, which happens to be down there instead of on your face, and that was fine. And the boyfriend that I caught it from didn't even know that he had it. Looking back on it, when we talked about it, we were able to see that actually he had sometimes had little sort of chafed patches on one side only of his penis, which he hadn't bothered to think about. But, you know, with hindsight, and once we knew more about this, we realised that that's what it was. You know, he'd not been diagnosed, and he had sex one day when he had the little chafed places, and that was enough to infect me. Now, I got it in the classic way. So I had the flu-like symptoms, which lasted probably about, I would say, 5 days. And then the spots, which were very painful, not that many, probably only about 4 or 5. And then I was again very unlucky, but it's again, you know, the reason why I'm actually working for the Herpes Viruses Association, because I was unlucky and needed help, which was I got lots of outbreaks. Unlike my boyfriend, who hardly got his chafed place more than twice a year, I got lots of outbreaks. So in the first year, I probably had about 15 outbreaks. I mean, it did make our love life rather difficult. But since he wasn't going to catch it back from me because he already had it, I didn't have that particular worry. Then after about 2 years, I would say, that relationship ended. And now I was on my own. And now I was a little bit more concerned about what would another partner think about this. And I wasn't helped by the fact that my sister, who was living in America at that time, sent me a magazine with all sorts of scare stories in it about this. And I really got totally worked up about, you know, feeling like a leper, feeling that no one would have me. You know, I'd got out of the way of thinking of it as just a cold sore, which was down there instead of up there, and started really being most concerned about it. I was lucky because I didn't get it very badly after those first 2 years. So I've only used topical treatment, either the lidocaine, which anaesthetises the area, or a herbal cream with lemon balm mint in it, because that actually prevents outbreaks. I found recently 2 applications stopped the outbreak. But for some people who get it far more often, it's really great that there are antiviral pills. They can take those on a daily basis to prevent the outbreak from actually ever coming out. So 3 months, 6 months, a year. Or they can just take a big dose the moment they start noticing symptoms. If a partner did catch it from me, everyone imagines that they're going to get bad symptoms because I did. And the answer is not. Only 1 person in 4 even notices that they have caught it. Their symptoms will be less or more aggravating just according to their own immune system. On our helplines, we get people who are really concerned about it. And there are 2 reasons for that, really. One is the incurable word that has got attached to it. Now, that really is unimportant. We have masses of incurable viruses and bacteria and fungus all the time. If people just called it a cold sore down there, it would be so much simpler. But let's face it, anything that you have down there is going to be more embarrassing than having it on your face. People are really glad when they get to our website because they say it's so much less scary and freaky than the others. And I'd like to remind people that this is only a cold sore. Their concerns are often too many outbreaks, you know, for people who've got physical symptoms. They could be in a relationship, but too many outbreaks are bothering them. The other is, will a new partner accept me? How do I talk about it with a new partner? So we have workshops on that subject for people who are concerned. If you're going along to a GUM clinic, do remember that they do this all day. It might be embarrassing from your point of view, but from their point of view, it's 9 to 5. Some clinics are walk-ins. Sometimes you need to make an appointment. They will check you for all the various STDs. So don't expect them just to find out whether it's herpes simplex. They will check you for everything. I think people should take a leaf out of my book. If you're really worried about this, find out, because finding out about it is going to alleviate all your worries. The more I learnt about this, the less I worried. The less I worried, the fewer outbreaks I had. So there's a link to our website and to our helpline. People should use that.
For more information, visit www.nhs.uk.